Hope you guys are doing really good today. Here to cover off the July CPI. And it's a big day because the markets are all tuned in, waiting for this piece of data. And we're going to find out, do we finally have the permission to start rallying, or are we going to be crashing back down to lower price points? So really looking forward to this. We've got about 20 minutes or so before the CPI reading comes out. And before then, I just want to make sure we're all aligned on what the expectations are and what the different variations / permutations are going into this important CPI reading. Guys, make sure you're smashing up that like button. Let's see who we've got in here. I can see a bunch of you were already waiting to jump in. Doug, good morning. Good to see you. Cesari, good to see you. Oh, man, indeed, Shizzy. LL Cool J, good to see you. Barney, good to see you, buddy. Indeed, we need to smash up those likes. Cool. Okay, good to see a lot of you guys in here. Now, let's take a quick look. What I do want to share with you is let's take a look at the Bitcoin price. And as we can see here, immediately on the Bitcoin price, you can see that we're sitting at about 23,100. We've cooled off quite significantly after our previous attempt at the 24,000 level. We created a lower high, right? We didn't get as high as the previous one in the middle. And this therefore gives you that idea that you could be forming a bit of a head and shoulders pattern / triple top pattern, which isn't going to be great. So we need to watch out for this. We need to get a good reading on CPI and really go push towards 24,000 and see if we can break it. I mean, this is the kind of catalyst which really could be useful to help us get through such a difficult technical level. When you have difficult technical levels like this one at 24,000, something like the CPI really can be that catalyst for you to get big volumes, big amounts of trades going on to push you through such a difficult level such as 24. And we know once we get through 24, I've been very vocal about my opinion that I think we can get a nice relief rally. I mean, the technical price target brings you up to that 29,000 region. And I think we could be having a nice run up. I mean, look how quickly we fell down here from about 30,000. So equally, once we get through this highly traded area, we should be able to bridge that gap equally to the upside. Now, if things come to the downside, I'm going to show you exactly what that means, downside, then we could be coming back down to trust. It depends on how bad the data is, right? So you could be coming back down to trust this trend line, or you could be testing the top of the channel at 22,000. And if it's really horrible, we'll be coming back into this channel, which will not be great at all. Remember, this channel resides between 22,000 and about 18,700. We've been monitoring it in this channel for a while. We broke out, we got thrown back in, and we may end up coming back into this panel if inflation is too hot. So what I did was I just typed up the key headlines for us to take a look at here today. And the main figure we need to look out for is the headline inflation, okay? So headline CPI year on year is expected to come in at 8.7%. Now, if I show you that on a chart, this is your inflation readings, okay? So you can see here we peaked at 9.1% last month, and that was a 40-year record high. So what the market is saying, in essence, is we want to see that come down to 8.7. We need to see that call off. So that's the expectation there. Then what we want to look at is we want to look at the month-on-month figure. And if you look at the month-on-month figure, last month was the biggest hike we've seen in ages. That was 1.3%. To put that into perspective, that is over. That means 1.3 times 12, if you do the math, is going to give you 15.6. That's 15.6 annualized inflation we ran at. That was the run rate we were running at last month. Now, the expectation for this month is 0.2. That's a big drop. They're expecting only 0.2 inflation on the headline inflation this month. And that's partly due to some of the gas and commodity prices coming down in July. We saw that coming down. So that would give you an annual run rate of 2.4, which will get the markets really, really excited. Now, let me tell you what will get them even more excited. What will get the markets even more excited is if this figure is 0. If that's 0.1 or 0, in other words, we didn't inflate on that month, that would be insane, and the markets can moon at that point. That would be like, the really fun news for us guys. Now, let's take a look at core inflation. Now, core inflation is when you remove food and energy. So the market's already expecting food and energy to cool off, but the core inflation, they've actually got it going up a little bit. So 6.1% is the expectation. If I show you what this looks like in terms of looking at the year, the year-on-year figures, you can see it was 5.9% on the previous reading. So they're expecting this to go up a little bit to 6.1. But this is good news, because if we get anything to the downside of 6.1, if we see 6, 5.9, or even lower than 5.9, another reason for the markets to get really, really euphoric on the news. So we know that's the kind of things we want to see on the top side. On the bottom side, if we get anything missing these expectations, right? If we get headline CPI coming in at 9%, if it's even higher than the 9.1%, absolutely horror show. It will be a red market. and the market would have to quickly price that in. Because remember, the market's been looking for any excuse to rally recently, right? The market's looking for reasons to rally. And for that reason, if they can shrug off this CPI reading, you're going to see that happen, right? If the markets can take it in their stride, they will. So they're erring on the side of being dovish. The market's not trying to punish whatever reading we're getting today. They want a reason to rally. Therefore, if the CPI isn't too horrible, we should be good today and we should be able to see a decent rally. How much of a rally we see and how much excitement we'll see will depend on these numbers, right? So anything less than 8.7, the market's going to love it. Anything 0.2 or less here on the month-on-month, market's going to be super happy. If that's 0, wow, we can moon. Core inflation, if core inflation comes down, if it's less than 5.9, because remember, they've got this notching up to 6.1. If it's any less than 5.9, markets really will be enjoying that. So that's what we're looking out for today. Now, if we look at the pre-market very quickly, you can see the pre-market is a little bit flat slash on the edge of happiness, right? They're on the edge of green. So you can see we're slightly green here heading into this figure. This is the pre-market, 0.4 on the NASDAQ, 0.3 on the S&P, 0.3 on the Dow as well. They're really looking forward to a positive number today. Now, the worrying thing about that is if we surprise to the downside, the market's going to have to drop quickly because the market, last week we saw it and this week is euphoric. The market wants to run. And therefore, if we surprise them or miss on inflation, the market's going to have to quickly scurry and pivot to unwind that hopium, okay? They're going to have to unprice that out, which could be quite painful. So we got a lot to cover off today. Let's get back into the comments, guys. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. We've got 162 of you in here and only 48 likes. Please, can you help me hit up that like button? It'll help more people find this stream. Barney, you're absolutely right. Let's smash up those likes. Good to see you. Billy, good to see you. Suf, good to see you. No signal, good to see you. Holiday, good morning. Good morning, Yahya. Nice, from Nigeria. Let's go, Pele. Afternoon from Manchester, Dan. Not far from me at all. Beyond Infinity, good to see you. Scared to watch. Promise, scared to watch. Yasmin, good to see you. Steve, good afternoon, buddy. Cool. So somebody's asking how long we have until the CPI reading. We have 13 minutes until the CPI reading. I will keep refreshing here on their website to pull that out and get that result for you as quickly as possible. We've also got the S&P here, so we can take a look at how the S&P pre-market reacts. We've got Bitcoin up here on the 5-minute chart as well to see how that reacts. And we're going to take a look at the wider picture as well. Now, also, as a preview, it's worth looking at what some of the other major banks are saying. Let's take a quick read here together of what the major banks are saying. So you've got Deutsche Bank saying they're looking for 8.8%, and they're expecting core to increase to 6.1 as well. So they're matching the expectation. Core should be more important to the Fed, but the market has been known to take the dovish interpretation. That's exactly what we were just saying. The market is looking for some sort of excuse to run. So as long as we don't really hit the market hard with a bad CPI reading, then I think the markets will take that in its stride and try to shrug anything else off. Like, even if it's close, I think the market's going to just crack on and start doing a steady rally. NBF, the food component likely remained very strong given severe supply constraints, but this increase should have been partially compensated by lower gas prices. Fine. As a result, headline prices could have increased 0.2, so they're sticking with 0.2 month on month, and year on year should come down to 8.7, so they're sticking to the consensus estimate. TDS, core prices likely stayed strong in July, with series registering a 0.5% month on month gain. Interesting. So they're going for 0.5 month on month, which is a 6% annualized inflation rate. RBC, US inflation numbers are expected to edge lower, dropping to 8.8. So they're going for 8.8 over at RBC. Commerzbank, we expect consumer price, excluding energy and food, so that's the core rate, to have risen by 0.6 month on month, okay? Less than the 0.7 in the previous month. On balance, we expect consumer prices to rise 0.3 month on month. Again, that's versus the 0.2, and they're expecting the main figure to come down to 8.8. So all these major banks pretty much aligned. We want that 8.7 figure consensus, but we also know the estimates have been pretty bad recently. I mean, the estimates have been missing more often than not. So do not be surprised if we get a massive miss like we did last month. We covered that last month when we got that horrible reading, and don't be surprised to see if that happens again. Now, let's understand what's going on with the interest rate expectations. Remember, we have a big gap between this reading and when the next FOMC meeting is. The next FOMC meeting is on the 21st of September. So this is what we need to look out for. So we've got this inflation reading. You actually get your next inflation reading. Let me just check. The next inflation reading, which would be the August reading, comes out on September the 13th. Okay, so exactly 8 days before this meeting. So Jerome Powell is going to have this set of data, that set of data. He's going to have a whole bunch of data in front of him to make the decision. Now, currently, you can see this is edging up. The market is now priced in 58% chance of a 75 basis point rate hike. The whole of last week and the rally we saw and some of the hopium we saw was because the market had heavily priced in just 50 basis points. They made the decision that, hang on, Jerome Powell's not going to do 75 again. He's done 2 already. He's not going to do another one. He's going to do 50 next, right? And they hung their hat on that and they rallied. But now if inflation comes in hot today, you're going to see as soon as that figure comes in, if it comes in hot, if it comes in 9, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, this is going to get priced up to 75 basis points. And you'll even see some people pricing in 100 basis points as well. Now, something else which a lot of people have not been speaking about, very, very important. Before I tell you guys, I want you please all to smash up this like button because I don't think any other crypto channel is telling you this alpha right now. Are they? And if they are, tell me what those channels are because I'll stop streaming and I'll watch them. It'll save us all the effort. But this is the critical piece. If inflation is really, really bad, if inflation comes out bad today, above 9.1% or even 9.1%, I think, Jerome Powell may have to make a decision. He may have to make the decision to not wait until September the 21st. He may have to come in and expedite a rate hike, which means he would have to increase rates without or before the next FOMC meeting. Because if it's not working, because at the moment he's believing, okay, I'm on top of things, right? I've done my 0.75% increase in interest rates. It's going to have a lag. So he's expecting that there's a lag. So he's thinking, okay, a couple of months ago I did 75 basis points. That should be feeding through now. But if inflation comes in at 9.1 again or 9.2 or 9.3, it shows that it's getting worse. Jerome Powell's going to have to rethink his plan because his 75 basis points might not be enough. He might need to jump out without a meeting, come into the market and just surprise the market with 75 basis points or 100 basis points before the next FOMC meeting on September the 21st. So that could even mean by the end of this month, right? So that's what could happen, which a lot of people are not talking about right now. So that's really, really important, okay? Let's take a look at what you guys are saying in the comments. Make sure you remind me if I keep waffling and I miss the CPI reading. That'd be funny. We've got 8 minutes to go until the CPI reading. Billy, could you do a video sometime on how they actually price it in and why and what that's all about? Okay, so this is basically taken by the CME futures, okay? So traders trade the futures, and that's what gives you the element of what's priced in. You can look at the future price, what value is priced in, and therefore you can backtrack that to figure out. I don't know the exact formula, but it's using the CME futures 30-day Fed fund prices in order to pull that out, okay? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Salam Hassan, good to see you. I'm on the edge of green too, Steve. Joshua, Sydney, Australia. Awesome. Appreciate you, Nafi. Hope you are well. I'll leave a like. I'll leave a like once you get good data. Otherwise, I'm blaming you. Hassan, I'll take the blame. That's fine. We can all be red together in our portfolios, which will be fun. Doug, yeah, going to be great. Good morning. Good morning, Spencer. Hope you're well. What do I think the percent is going to be? Oh, interesting. So I'm preparing for about between 8.7 and 8.9. Okay, so I'm thinking it will cool down from the previous one of 9.1. And I'm putting anywhere between 8.7 and 8.9. Anything lower than 8.7, market's going to love it. But I just can't see that having that much of a fall from 9.1% the previous month. But although we did see in July a lot of commodity prices come down. So hopefully we can get that surprise to the downside. Anything above 9, guys, 9, 9.1, 9.2, it's not going to be fun for us. It's not going to be fun for us at all. Good to see you from India. Hello from South Africa. You are international out here. Check you guys out. All listening to US CPI. Lean from Rochdale. See if Man United need to pump. I know, man. Good morning from Belgium. Nottingham. Moon Boys do one, guys. Put a hashtag Moon Boys do one. If you don't know what that means, well, it should actually be do one Moon Boys. Do one is a UK term for like get lost, mate. And yeah, put a do one Moon Boys in the description if you're fed up with the Moon Boys. Where are the Moon Boys right now? Are they covering this off? I mean, we're 6 minutes away from CPI. Are they on this? Are they doing a live stream? Are they walking their audience through all the expectations? Take out energy, take out commodities, look at the previous figures, look at what's priced in. No, they're not, are they? Let's be honest. Yep, if it's above 9.1, I expect a dump. Like I said, this is all going to be about it just needs to be enough for the market. There needs to be enough there for the market. So you know what? We're going to rally. We're going to rally. Is there enough in the market that we can rally? That's what the market is ultimately looking for. So remember, this is the other nuance, guys. We need to remember we could get a mixed reading. So again, we're going to be doing this live in 5 minutes, so it's going to be difficult to analyze, but bear with me and I'll try to break this down for you as quickly as possible. But you could get a mixed reading. You could see core inflation fall. Sorry, you could see headline inflation fall, right? Like come in at like 8.7, 8.8 in the market, be okay. But when you delve deeper, maybe core inflation is going higher or vice versa, right? So we need to look at both. We need to take our few times before overreacting and placing any trades. We need to know what we're doing. And by the way, if you're buying any crypto, check out BYBIT, BitGet, links in the description. Those are affiliate links which support this channel, which help us to bring you this type of content. You don't have to, but do check it out. How much do you think we could rally if it pumps hard today? I think if we pump hard today, guys, we'll break through this 24 level, right? That's the key. And once you're through the 24 level, it doesn't matter then. Once you're through that level, I seriously think we can get a nice run up towards 29. Maybe not instantly, but we've got the permission then to go through it, right? But we've got to break through 24, maybe back test 24 as some support. That's enough for today, right? Like even if we did something like this and back test, that's enough for today, as long as we can then say, okay, now we're good to go for the next couple of days. And more importantly, if we get a good figure, we've got 2 months almost. We've got the best part of 2 months of having some fun because the Fed won't come to spoil things until September the 21st. So that's what we're looking out for. And a nice figure here could be really good. And a bad figure can be really worrying because then we're going to have it in the back of our heads. Oh, are the Fed going to come out with some, surprise rate hike and do something? So yeah, we really want to avoid that at all costs. And New York Times is predicting a decent read, and they're actually and they're usually pretty keyed into the system. Yep, I feel like a lot of the sentiment has been decent read. Even reading some of the banking reports, a lot of them are expecting it, and partly that is because of the energy and food prices. We did see those improve in July, so I think that's what they're hanging their hat on, and that's why I'm a little bit concerned that maybe we do see headline come down in the next 3 minutes. But then we may see core go up. So that's what I want to look out for together. Is that the dynamic we're going to see? So we need to make sure we see that. Hey, good to see you guys. Don't forget to smash up the like button. We've covered off my expectation. Hollandy, good to see you, buddy. Asan, appreciate you smashing up that like button. Shout out Turkey. Good to see you guys in here as well. Do not stop streaming. I might have to, guys. I might have to stop streaming, man. These Moon Boys are covering all the same content now, right? Can we update on GMT and FTM? Maybe after the CPI reading, if you remind me. Hi from Portugal. Sebastian, good to see you, buddy, in the live stream. Thank you for being here. Oh, man. Petroleum and diesel coming down. Yeah, that's a good indicator, but it's not going to help the core, right? Remember, that core's going to come down, and we want to see what is the lag between that. Good morning from the US. Spencer, can you get the CPI data a little bit early for us or something? Can you come on, you're right there. Afternoon, mate, from Paris. We've literally got everyone in here. Paris, Devon, you covering the UK. We've got London in the UK as well. Switzerland in the place. Stockholm in the place. You guys are awesome. Nigeria. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. Missed a bunch of you. We've got Japan. We've got Australia. You guys are still posting stuff. New Jersey in the house. Wow. Awesome. No, I don't think that's true. I just don't think you're listening, Crypto W. So there are plenty of Moon Boys. Everybody give him a do one and go show him a couple of Moon Boy channels that he can head to, where he's going to get bullish news all the time and bearish news all the time. So that way they're always right. But I'm very clear here. Good news today, and we can break through 24,000 and get on a nice bullish rally. If not, we could be coming back into that green channel, which you can see on the charts. We've got a minute to go before that. Maybe I should start refreshing expeditiously so that we can get this on the stream. So I'm just going to pop that off, and I'm going to try pull up this PDF. If it takes me a little while, it's because their website is struggling. So I'm just literally refreshing right now while I speak to you. And as you can imagine, a lot of people around the world are clicking refresh right now. Nova Scotia, Canada, Paris, Cameroon, Niger, Lisbon, Portugal. You guys are wicked. And I respect you guys because you guys have figured out that it's not just about listening to Moon Boys. You've got to take it. Because look, this is not the most attractive thing to be doing right now, but you guys are taking responsibility for your portfolios. And I respect that. Literally refreshing right now, guys. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm going to sit here and refresh until we see this figure. Remember, we're looking for 0.2% month on month. We're looking for 8.7% year on year. And we're looking for the 6.1% in the core. So those are the three figures. It can take us a little while just pull this up once they release it. They've still not released it. It's saying 30 on my clock. There we go. CPI for all items unchanged in July as falling gasoline offsets shelter. Okay, very good. That's 0 on the month on month. Markets can really take this well, guys. Let me download the PDF. Let me share that on screen. There we go. We've got it up nice and quickly. Let's go. Okay, so 0%. That is huge. That is huge, huge, huge. That's a 0% annualized figure. Much better than the 0.2 we're expecting. Let's take a look. Where is the headline? The all items index relates. 8.5 is lower than the 8.7, guys. Fantastic news, really, really good news. Let's take a look. Let's see how the markets move. We got the news we want. Let's go see if we can find core inflation as well. Core inflation. Where is the core inflation? Let's just find that. All items less food and energy coming in at 5.9. Wow, triple beat, guys. Really good news. This should now set us up for a nice run. We can see crypto is responding. Let's pull up the 5-minute chart here. I've got the S&P on the left-hand side. I've got crypto on the left-hand side, Bitcoin on the left-hand side, S&P pre-market rocketing. Really, really good news, guys. Now we can finally start getting excited for some bullish movement. I've been so patient for so long. You saw the guy, that weirdo with the comment saying this guy's bearish. I said very clearly, when we see inflation start to notch down, then Jerome Powell is on top of things. And finally, we're seeing things come down. That was a really big reading. And I think a lot of people are now going to really breathe a sigh of release. We did have that pre-run last week, which had no real conviction behind it, but just people in the know and some of the institutions had a feeling that inflation would be coming down. Now we've got that figure coming through. And this is really, really good, guys. Let's quickly flick through. We'll leave this up. We'll come back into this charts very shortly. But the markets are responding very, very positively. Bitcoin heading towards 24,000, 23,600. Let's go break that 24,000 level on Bitcoin. Let's pull up that PDF again and let's go through this. So remember, guys, it was 1.3% month on month last time. We expected 0.2. It came in flat. This means in July there was no inflation. Really good, okay? Really good figure. And you're running at a 0% inflation rate. We've finally got that inflection point down. How many times have we covered this, guys? We thought here we had the inflection point down in April. Then we got wrecked for 3 months in a row. Now we've seen the inflection point down. We need another reading next month for that to come down and things can look good. Finally, and this is the important thing, finally, for those just tuning in, a triple beat on inflation. Really good news. Inflation is coming down. The market should be able to rally really healthily. Let me just go ahead and tweet this as well, guys. Make sure you head over to @RealIjaz01 and support the Twitter page as well. Triple beat on inflation. Core 5.9% versus 6.1%. Headline. So the headline, which is what you can see on this one, was 8.5% versus the 8.7% we were expecting. And headline month on month, which is crazy, guys, is 0% versus the 0.2% we were expecting. Crazy. Okay, so that's huge. So green light for the markets indeed. Green light for... So what this means, guys, is in essence, we now know that Jerome Powell has got control, right? And this is really important. You didn't want Jerome Powell to be saying, yeah, I'm on top of everything is going well, but inflation is saying otherwise. That's what was happening. Twitter is @RealIjaz01, guys, @RealIjaz01, my name on the channel, and you'll be able to find it. So really important, because Jerome Powell is now on top of things, and now we can feel confident that this fall down was probably the first 75 basis points he did. Remember, he did another 75 basis points the month after, so we should be able to see that fall now in the next one. So that's really, really good. And let's just take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sitting there at 23,600 here. Remember, we want to see a break through this 24,000 mark. We still got a little bit of time before the markets open up. So this is still pre-market, right? So we need to wait for the actual US markets to open up. Let's see how they respond. But overall, this could be a really good day here for crypto. But more important than just today, today, this is more about the next couple of weeks. This is now saying, okay, We've finally seen that inflection point down. And now long-term investors, not just short-term hands, long-term investors have to look at this and say, okay, we just had 0%. We've not seen that for more than 12 months plus, right? That was a really good month that it came down. Now, obviously, inflation couldn't just keep going up and up and up. We haven't got deflation. We haven't gone down yet. But it's good that we didn't have this 1.2, right? It's coming down. And that's reminding people that it's transitory. Remember that word, transitory? The market started to get concerned that inflation wasn't going to go away. It was just going to be sticky inflation, which could drive us into a stagflation. Remember, a stagflation is when the jobs figures are getting worse because of interest rates, but at the same time, inflation doesn't disappear. But we're not getting that. Inflation seems to, from this one reading, and obviously we can't just hang our hat on this reading, but it seems to have cooled down. And it was good to see that core came down slightly as well. Not a huge come down, but again, remember, they were expecting this to notch up a little bit. So it was good that it did come down a little bit just there on the core inflation, down to 5.9 versus the 6.1 expected. So that's really, really important. Now, if we take a look at some of the key elements still here in the inflation report, I mean, some of the reasons behind, because you've got to still remember, we still inflated 8.5% year on year, right? So it's still 8.5% inflation. And a lot of that is coming from certain elements here, 33% in energy, of which 44% is in energy commodities, gasoline 44, 75% in fuel oil, 30%. Let's keep going down, see what other items made up some of this inflation reading just for completeness. I know you guys probably aren't too interested in some of this. We saw a big drop down of 11% there in fuel, which is really helping. You saw a good come down in some of the motor fuel. This is what's helping, right? This is what we predicted. But the good news is we saw core come down as well. So I do want to see outside of this. I mean, we can take a look at food very quickly as well. Anything coming down in food. Had a little bit in uncooked beef, guys. You got permission to eat some uncooked beef roast if you want. Get yourself a bit of that. You can get yourself a bit of ham if you want some ham. 6% down in your frankfurters, guys. Get yourself some frankfurters this month. Treat yourself. Come on. 6% down on frankfurters. 3% down on stable fish and seafood. Got to love a bit of seafood. Get some sushi in you guys. 3%. Citrus fruits are back on the table, guys. Tell your missus, citrus fruits, we can have them back on. It deflated by 3%, which is really good. So we get yourself some citrus. What else we got going down? Tomatoes going down. Okay, let's get past food. I want to see some of the other sections outside of food where we did have some big movements. Okay, so 2% down on men's underwear and nightwear. Go ahead, stock up, guys. Stock up whilst you can. 0% on girls' apparel. Deflation of 1.4% boys and girls' footwear. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm bullish on citrus. Citrus bubble. It's time for a citrus bubble. Okay, so audio equipment, guys. Maybe I should get myself a new mic. Is down 1.4%. Let's quickly take a quick look. A few things going up for photographic equipment. So hopefully my camera doesn't break anytime soon. What else do we have? Okay, cool. Just not much. I mean, 9% down on motor vehicle, right? This was helping. This is what's helping the core inflation here. Motor vehicle maintenance and repair. It's good to see car and truck rental. Good to see this line item coming down. 6% down here on public transportation. That's going to help a lot. Airline fares coming down as well. Very good. Okay, so these are the core figures, which is keeping core sensible. Okay, really, really important. These are the bits that get you careful. Billy, good to see you, buddy. This is Golden Man, best coverage on YouTube. Remember us when you get more. You can't get more subscribers than those guys, man. Some people just want entertainment all the time, right? But we got to cover real content. We got some work to do. We've got to build our portfolios. So we'll do that at the expense of some subscribers. That's fine. Okay, let's take a look at the charts then. Again, still some bullish. Another green candle here. 5-minute green candle opening up here on the S&P. Nice and green here on the day. Reacting pretty well, as you would expect. A triple beat. And no doubt markets should be feeling a little bit better. Let's take a look here. Yep, as you can see, this is on the 4-hourly candles, guys. Nice big 4-hourly candle. Just need a good day today. And it's like I said, it's more than just this day. This news will stick with us for a little while now, okay? So this is important. Steve's asking about any chips. Let's see if they said anything. Nope, doesn't come up. So I don't know what they've listed it as. We could scroll through manually, but we'll be here forever. Feel free to download it and have a search of it. You might find anything. Computer peripherals. Lodging has gone down 3%. So all these things are helping core come down. And this is the real stuff, right? This is the real stuff that impacts you and I. It impacts spending. And this is good news now. This is good news. We need to see this inflation come down. Again, it'd be good to see another month come down as well. Remember Jerome Powell's words, guys. We've got to listen to what he says. What did he say? He wants to see clear evidence that inflation is coming back to its baseline of 2%. Okay, we're nowhere near 2% yet, of course, but we are seeing evidence of it coming down. So if we see evidence of it coming down, and that doesn't just mean one reading, but it is the start, and the markets want to be ahead of the game, right? So we can't just rest on our laurels and say, oh, I'm staying out of the market because Jerome Powell's waiting for 2 or 3 readings like this. Yeah, he probably is waiting for 2 or 3 readings like this, but we need to make our decisions. And if we think this is going to start improving, then we need to act upon that as well, okay? So yeah, good, happy figure. I don't think it could have played out any better than that today, guys. In terms of a CPI reading, that is a good CPI reading. It's a triple B, happy on all levels. And for those just joining, better than expected headline inflation, better than expected core inflation, and better than expected month on month. So now we need to let the markets do the rest of the work. So we got it again, guys. Nothing changes from a technical perspective. So let's take that fundamentals and let's marry it up with our technicals. I still want to see that daily close above this level. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I want to see that daily close above here, and I need to see us get higher than that wick. See this wick where we got scammed out of it and thrown back down? We got to be higher than there. When you get higher than there, things are looking good, and we can start to the upside on a nice move towards 28.29. Now, from a fundamental perspective, this is good news. Good news. And I always care about fundamentals, right? Because I know the price will follow eventually. All I wanted to see was that the economy is healing. They're recovering. They're on the mend. Whether it takes a couple of months, it's okay. I'm not in a rush. It can take a couple of months. That's fine, right? But you can see Bitcoin is up 2.5% today, reacting well to the news. No doubt the markets will react very positively to the news, and we'll have to now switch over. The only things which can now mess up the market, you've got a Michigan sentiment survey on Friday. We have to pay attention to that. And that's going to be about consumers' expectations of inflation. So we want to see that come down. Really important. We want to see consumers' expectations of inflation come down, because remember, they act on their expectations. If consumers think we're going to be in inflation, even though we've seen inflation come down, they may delay their purchases, which could have effect on companies' earnings. Remember, the last thing we want is for inflation to keep going up and companies' earnings to be going down and suffering, okay? That's going to be bad. You have less jobs, you have more unemployment, you end up in stagflation. That is what the market's fearful of. The fact that inflation is showing some signs of cooling off is really good, okay? So that's important. Shizzy says Chicago Fed is speaking at 11. Yes, they're always speaking, these guys. We need to be careful of what they say, but I think they'd have to do a lot to distract the market today. The market's happy. In fact, let's have a refresh of our Fed rate monitor tool. Remember, this was 58% just when we were doing our pre-show here. Let's see how it's changed. And there you can see it's unwound, right? 10% has now said we're not having that 75 basis point rate hike, and they've pulled it across back to a 50 basis point rate hike. And as we stand, I think that seems sensible. Right. And obviously, we're going to get another CPI reading. We're going to get August the 13th. We're going to have another reading. So put that in your diary. September the 13th, we're going to have another reading. So put that in your diary. Right. Because Jerome Powell is going to have that data plus this data, and he's going to make his decision. So if he has 2 sets of data where inflation is cooling off, absolutely, I think he can go for 50 basis points. He can even go for 25. But I think he's going to want to keep his foot on the gas and probably stick to another 50 basis points. So that's why you're seeing the market rotate across here. We avoided a big pain today, guys. Remember, if that figure came in high, this could have been painful. Remember, I spoke about this before. Jerome Powell could have potentially come out before September the 21st to do a special rate hike. So we've managed to avoid that. Really good news. And now the markets, it's up to the markets to now start moving, right? Now people need to start allocating their positions. They want to get themselves back in the market, because when the Fed U-turns is when officially in historical cycles, you've seen the bottom of the market. And this is one of the pieces of data the Fed uses to decide when to U-turn, right? So it makes complete sense when you follow the logic that this would be your early sign to start getting into the market ahead of the Fed making its decisions. Guys, 241 of you in here. Please do smash up the likes. We've only got 157 likes, which, I did study maths, but it still doesn't seem to stack up for me. So please do help me. I'd really, really appreciate that. Right, let's go to the comments. Let me guys know if you have any questions. Ian says ETH is 5.5% up already. Absolutely. It's going to carry on, right? The patterns of the plays, like I've said many times, is you're seeing Bitcoin move, then you're seeing Ethereum, you're seeing the layer 2s like Matic move as well, and good layer 1s are moving as well. So I fully expect that to continue to be the pattern as well. I agree with this message. Hello, why? Never be too greedy. Guys, if you're in profits trading on the day term, then of course take your profits, right? Don't be too greedy. Today, I'm speaking more about long-term portfolio. Of course, you can trade this news. If you guys experience, feel free to go ahead and trade. If I wasn't live streaming, I'd probably be trading as well because I love trading. But in terms of long-term portfolio, like I just reiterate the point I made in my video last week. I'm all in on this market. And I can't emphasize that enough in terms of what I'm doing is I'd feel very uncomfortable if I wasn't in the market right now. Inflation is showing signs of improving, and I'm just FOMOing in to try get in. I'm happy that I was staggering in my positions. Zigdot, wait, I missed the CPI news. Yes, you missed. CPI was really good. Triple beat on CPI. Better than expected on core inflation. Better than expected on headline. And better than expected on the month-on-month readings. Really good news. Avoided all that bad news, which is really, really good. Guys, can we get to 200 likes? I'd really appreciate it if you can help me. 200 likes. Ian says he loaded up on link. What about Phantom? We could take a look at Phantom as well. Let's see how Phantom is responding to the news. Phantom up 6%, 39 cents here on Phantom. Guys, congratulations. If you've been watching my videos and if you've been dollar cost averaging in on Phantom, I mean, from the lows here, you guys, we've got the content out there where I was telling you when I was buying, and you can see here, you're already 100% up on your dips. And this is why it's so important to, one, have conviction, but two, to just sometimes when it's really, really painful, you've got a dollar cost average in, because what happens now is the coins you bought more expensive, because I was buying when Phantom was more expensive as well, and my other coins, they get balanced out. The loss of those ones gets balanced out from the ones where you were buying lower on the dip. So your portfolio really starts to recover quickly, because not only your price is going up, but the ones where you bought the dip super cheap brings your cost basis down, and that helps you get back to recovery a lot quicker than somebody who just, was, oh no, the market's horrible, I can't look at it, right? You gotta be pragmatic, and you've got to hold your conviction. Yep, CPI was 8.5. What is your price target now with this great news? I'm price target on Phantom or price target on Bitcoin? Price target on Bitcoin, we need to break that 24th first, guys. Then I can give permission from my technicals to say we're going to head up to 29.30. On Phantom, if Bitcoin does that, look at the gap that Phantom's got to fill, right? Phantom can very quickly, for me, get up to 68 when Bitcoin goes on that journey. So, for me, that's going to be huge. If you're buying in at 15 and then you're getting at 68, that's more than a 4x already before Phantom even gets started. So this is the risk and reward, and you've only got to do it on the conviction plays where you've got conviction. You can't borrow my conviction. It doesn't work. You'll panic sell. So it's really important that you have your own conviction. Remember, I'm already in the market, Emir. If you're talking about a trade, there's plenty of opportunities to trade right now. In terms of the next big trade for me, which I might take, is obviously breaking that 24,000 level on Bitcoin. But remember, the vast majority of my portfolio is long, so this would just be a small trade with a small part of my portfolio for a bit of fun, from between 24 and 30K as a trade. But I'm in the market, so I'm happy for this to be moving. Optimism pumping, brother. Exactly what we just said, right? Ethereum, layer 2s, Polygon, Matic, Optimism. They're going to move. And go ahead, swing trade it. Just make sure you're using my links in the description to do that. Matt is feeling particularly excited for some reason. When can we sell Phantom? You sell Phantom when you no longer have any conviction, right? When you don't believe in the project, or you've made more money than you want to risk, you take it out and you live your life with it. You don't do what anybody else does. You don't do what I do. You don't do what anybody in the chat does. You don't do what any other YouTuber does. Everybody's situation is different. If you've made money on Phantom, or you've made a loss which you can't handle on Phantom, you take your loss, or you take your profits and you ride into the sunset, right? If you believe in it and you want to continue to hold it, then hold it and do your research and make sure you believe in it. Oh man, what about ETH and Poly? ETH and Polygon are two which are going to move, right? You can already see ETH is straight out of the blocks, up 6%. And there's no stopping ETH right now going into this merge. Any good news where the market is moving will enable Bitcoin to move. And then things like Ethereum, Matic, Optimism, and the good layer 1 solutions, they're going to rock it. I mean, look at Phantom, 7% up today. Solana's only up 3.8%. Right? So Atom's only up 1.8. Near Protocol's up nicer, 5.5%. Matic is up 4%. Avalanche up 8%. Big move on Avalanche. So you can see the pattern is it's the good solid layer 1 solutions that everybody's looking to rotate in. So Ethereum trying to now get back above its trend line and go post another higher high, which would be really strong. I mean, the previous high here on Ethereum was 18.18. So it's about $18 away from posting a new high, which would be really good, and it can continue its uptrend. My phone's going nuts on portfolio. Yeah, this is it. The FOMO kicks in, guys. And you could see yesterday, the fear and greed index was 42. And then today it was 31 because people got annoyed that Bitcoin got rejected. I mean, it was typical that Bitcoin was going to get rejected. But now you'll see the reading for tomorrow will be back high again because everyone's positive from this CPI reading. So Now what we need to do is just make sure there's no company earnings which come out to damage the market, right? So always keep your risk hat on. What are the different risk factors? Different risk factors are any like war or these kind of things which can come out of nowhere. China, Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine, any company earnings which come out really negatively could be horrible. Remember, Coinbase took a $1.1 billion loss, which is obviously going to affect the market as well. So we've got to take that into consideration as well. So we've got to keep an eye on things. We can't just be blind and YOLOing in, but this is really good news. And I don't want to sit back and put negative on this news. This is really good news. And we were waiting for it. So let's celebrate it now. It's here. No point being a Debbie Downer all the time. And that's the reality of it. We let the data lead us. We don't get emotional. When the data's telling us bad stuff, we'll say, oh, things are looking horrible, guys. We're going to fall to the downside. When things are saying positive news, we'll cover that off and say it's positive news, right? That's how things works. So guys, those of you who missed, I will do a summary video on inflation and what that means. I'll cover off the key technical levels as well as what happened in inflation in a shorter, maybe 8-minute video or so for those of you who missed it. That will come up later. So make sure you got notifications on. For those of you who want to watch the whole thing live and watch me react to it, just scroll the red bar back and you can watch back to the beginning to cover that off. Some people are asking, can ETH get to 2K today? We'll have to see. I want to see how much like impetus there is when the markets open up. So we've got 10 minutes before the markets open up. I probably we'll just need to wait to see, okay, how does it react? Does the market really push it upwards? And what's that energy like? You'll feel it when the markets open up. So we do want to see that because that could help Bitcoin move to the upside. At the moment, Bitcoin 23,973, looking pretty good here, guys. Bitcoin is trying to, let's go look at the 5-minute chart, actually. Here you go. Bitcoin's moving nicely, heading towards that 24,000 mark. And then we want to see, can it finally push through those levels? Really important levels at 24,000 here on Bitcoin. So nice, strong moves. Yeah, I think Steve, I've not made any, not been hiding the fact that I'm really fond of DOT, right? Like if you don't watch my DOT Cosmos comparison, I think they're a very solid player in the layer 0 space. We've been speaking about it for a long time. I've been dollar cost averaging into DOT for a long time. And I don't think it's going anywhere. It's a great project for me to be dollar cost averaging into. It's a nice part of my portfolio and I like to keep it there. I think they're going to do well. I don't think they've met their potential yet. And they've got a lot more to do in terms of use cases and really pushing forward some of the biz dev elements. But a lot of potential. They're a really good team. And I do want to see them do a lot better in this next bull run. Guys, please don't forget to smash up the like buttons. We've still not got to 200 likes, and there's more than 200 of you sat here. So please do smash up the like button. Rudy Rude's BYBIT won't load for me because all the Moon Boys are on BYBIT now taking trades. Well played. What's the next catalyst from Vishal, and when could it occur? So remember, you've got small catalysts coming up now, right? So small catalysts are the fact that you've got Michigan Sentiment Survey on Friday. Jerome Powell does look at that, so we need to look at to see what that comes in at. You've still got some company earnings dripping through. We'll pay attention to those. Then you've got geopolitical risks, which you have to keep an eye on. And then apart from that, we just need to look at jobs figures, inflation, right? Until Jerome Powell's next rate hike in September the 21st. So as long as those come in favorably, that's good. Now remember, the job figure did come high last Friday. That doesn't marry up with the efforts made by Jerome Powell on the interest rates. But some people do show that after a recession has been confirmed, there can sometimes be a month or two lag where the jobs figures are still strong before they start to soften up. So we want to see that soften up in the next few non-farm payrolls. How long do you see this rally for? This will be my first relief rally, my first bear market, trying to learn patterns. Lefty, good question. So the relief rally for me, and again, I've covered this off I know you've probably seen this as well, Lefty, in a couple of my videos. I can look at it as saying, okay, once we get through 24, I can see us running up towards the 29-30 region, but I would be taking profits quite quickly into that. And the reason for that is if I bring out the weekly chart and I bring out our EMA ribbon, you will see here that this is what we're talking about, okay? So you can already see here on this week, we're getting rejected at the top here, which is 20, whoa, that's my line, sorry. But what you can see here is this line up to here brings you to 28.5, where the EMA ribbon starts. So at that point, I'd be looking to trim. If I was long in at 24, from 28.5, I'd be taking a little bit off, 29.5, a little bit off, 30, I'd definitely be taking a good chunk off, and I'll be letting the rest ride. But the key battle is going to be here. So this bit here is your relief rally, right? Thereafter, the question is, can we now go for a real rally? Can we go for our next bull market? And that's going to happen if we reverse our EMA ribbon, flip it, and start working to the upside. And that is why a lot of people are saying, no, this is guaranteed going to do this. And there is a chance it can do this. But what I'm saying is I can't afford to wait for, like on a bus stop here, waiting to get into the market when we could potentially flip our EMA ribbon and go here. So I need to be sitting on the bus right now. I need to be on the bus just in case this happens. And there's evidence of this happening before where small relief rallies at the bottom of a bear market rotate into the next bull run. So I'm not saying it's guaranteed that we're going to go for our next bull run, but what I can say is this looks like we can get a relief rally, and I want to be on the bus just in case that does turn into a longer ride than we thought. Okay, that's where I'm at right now in terms of my psyche. Now, that doesn't mean, therefore, I'm ruling out a bottom. It just means I'm going to have to hold all the way to the bottom and then be prepared for this, right? That's the scenario on the downside if markets want to be in another bear market. But the fact that inflation's getting controlled is a better sign. Yes, Wakas, you are late, brother, but you can scroll back. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can scroll back, watching ×2 if you can keep up with my fast talking, and you're able to catch up on what happened. We covered that question off for you. Ian's getting ready for the citrus fruit run. MF7, 28 to 30K now seems very likely until, of course, China and Taiwan. Yeah, that's a big risk, guys. And I might have to make a video. Let me know if you guys want a video breaking down the kind of potential hypothetical impacts of China and Taiwan, because that is something that's on my mind is a little bit concerning, and it will have huge ramifications globally. So it's not something we can sleep on. And it's literally not something we need right now. Thanks for the alpha. Enjoy the British weather. Oh, that sentence actually makes sense for once, because the weather's actually pretty decent, but it just boils me and slows down my computers in the heat, to be completely frank. Hit the damn like button, people. Absolutely. Guys, do smash the like button. Thank you for getting us over 200 likes. Can we get to 250? Yeah, and this is the point, guys. When the markets start moving, you're going to have a lot of FOMO. And this is the point. You guys you can't chase green candles, right? If you're feeling that FOMO right now, please do not be chasing this right now. There's no value in it. You've had plenty of time to accumulate. And a better thing to ask yourself is why did you not enter? What stops you? So you can learn for the next dip, because there will be plenty of dips going forward. And you need to ask yourself, okay, during that peak fear, when fear and greed index was 8, 9, 10, why did I not enter the market? What was stopping me? How can I get better? There's no point chasing this green right now. Okay. Guys, we've got 3 minutes until the main markets open. So I'm going to stay with you guys for a little bit, if you don't mind. And we'll cover off this main market open, see what kind of volume we've got going on, see what kind of impetus. I mean, the Bitcoin volume is looking good, right? Nice spike, but it's cooling off a little bit now. So again, I don't think Bitcoin doesn't want to break 24,000 without permission from the daddy ship, right? From permission from the S&P and NASDAQ. So we're going to have to see how that opens up and react to that for sure. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well, Dragonfire. Ijaz, you should use vector candles. No, man, these ones are fine. Japanese all the way. Easy Life Gadget says, I think we have seen the bottom. Helene says, thanks, guys, and great community and great content. Absolutely. Let's enjoy this ride together, guys. If you guys are serious about crypto, which if you're watching this kind of content, you definitely are, right? Then you're gonna do well. Just take the time, learn, do your research, be patient. It's not complicated. Just don't look for overnight gains, right? And by the virtue that you found this channel, you've probably fed up with all those moon boys. So good. You've kind of, maybe your journey has been that when you got into crypto, you ran into those moon boys like a lot of people did. They got you erect a couple of times, and now you want to do it the right way. Well, this is the right way. Slow, methodical, sustainable investing. I know it sounds boring. That's why this channel won't have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers right now. But it's the reality of how we need to invest. It's a pragmatic way of investing. Ultimate Chicken, what was the CPI reading? It was all positive, my friend. All positive. 8.5% year over year versus 8.7 expected. Very good. 0% versus 0.2 month on month. And 5.9 versus 6.1 on the core inflation. So really good. Right, guys, 1 minute left before the markets open. We're looking forward to seeing how the markets respond. Thanks. Always enjoy your content. Appreciate you, Satoshi Member. Thank you for jumping in. Omar, good to see you. I'm not going to cover off GMT. I've made a video on GMT before. Check out the channel. My long going good on ETH. Congrats. You got ETH and Polygon. You're going to do well in those. Just make sure you're taking profits expeditiously without being, just once you get some direction from the markets. Awesome video. Keep it up. Thank you, Leandro. Really appreciate you. Literally as we're speaking, guys, we got Phantom now at 40 cents. Huge recovery, guys. 8% up on the day today. And remember, what's that thing I always say, guys? You want to see markets, your favorite coins move. Okay, we got the markets. Looks like it's open. Markets opening up. Let's see that volume come in. Let's watch it over the next kind of few sessions here, few 5-minute candles, and see what the response is. So there you go. Nice and green, pushing onwards on Phantom. Let's also pull up the S&P on this one. We'll pull up the S&P on this one. So the right-hand side's now got the S&P. So let's see how it opens up. Okay, nudging down slightly here on the S&P. I wonder why. You can see. Still on the pre-market data, so maybe they need another minute or so to open up. So we'll let it keep going. I've been going nuts, bought loads. Yeah, and this is the challenge, right? You feel like you're buying into like this pit because nobody's talking about crypto. You're the fool of the family or in your friend circle. Oh, I told you crypto's a scam, and you're like spending your last $1,000 on some more crypto and more. You feel like an addict, right? But the reality is now when markets start to move, you have nothing to do. It's boring, right? Because you're not going to allocate any more money. So now, I mean, hypothetically, let's say Bitcoin now ran for the next 2-3 months. You have nothing to do. So all the cash you're saving up for the next 2-3 months, you should be putting away as cash in a pot, ready to accumulate some more when there aren't green candles. It opens up in 30 minutes. I got my time conversions wrong. You're absolutely right. We've got another 30 minutes left. It's an hour after CPI. Cool. Okay, so we'll wait for that to happen in the next 30 minutes. We won't sit here on this live stream. But guys, do smash up the likes. I'm going to jump off. What I'm going to do is I'll do a summary video. And if you guys jump into the Discord or Twitter and tweet me with what type of content you want to see later today, now that we've got this positive CPI news, I want to know, what is it you guys want to know? What's on your mind? Do you just want Bitcoin coverage? Do you want coverage of some of the altcoins you think I'm going to move? I think are going to move in the next potential relief rally. Let me know what type of content that is for you guys, and we'll try to get that done over this week. I mean, it's really good news here. So if you're in crypto, we've been waiting for this news for a while, so don't downplay this. I mean, look at this. Inflation has been horrific for a very long time. This goes back to September, right? In November, Bitcoin hit its peak and inflation was horrible. So this is good news. Now, obviously not going to jump in with 2 feet, but it's a start. So let's take it as a start. It's good news. Let's see the market moving, and let's take it step by step from there. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on this live stream. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the like button and subscribe. If you want to check out the links in the description to a bunch of different things to support this channel, then do so. You can get into our free Discord. You can get into our free Telegram, just to make sure you're getting the data as and when. I post in the Telegram frequently when I don't have a chance to make a video. When YouTube fails to notify you, you'll get a notification on Telegram and Discord. So just make sure you're involved in the community, so that way you're getting all the aspects of the knowledge of this community as well. Guys, don't forget to smash the likes, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, summary's coming. I'm going to post an 8-minute summary, so make sure if you didn't catch what was going on in this whole thing, I will be posting about an 8-minute summary, posting everything you need to know with the key levels in Bitcoin, what happened with the CPI reading. I'll be posting that very, very shortly.